Kim from Kim Dixon Creative, and I am here today with a project using the not too shabby stamp set called Pumpkin Spice Everything. I'm also going to be using some Simon Hurley products. I've got some of the inks. I'm using Slippery When Wet, Grrr. I'm using Breakup Blue, and I'm using Midnight Snack. I'll also pull in some Lunar paste later on in the video. So I'm pre-treating my card stock with some anti-static powder because we're going to be doing some heat embossing and some ink resisting. So I've treated that with my anti-static powder tool, and I'm stamping up my image with my embossing ink. Today I'm using ink on 3. I use it interchangeably with the Versamark ink. They work both very well. I do stamp my image twice to make sure that I get a good impression. And then I'm going to take some ultrafine white embossing powder and dust that over the top of my image. And because I did pre-treat it, it worked. I didn't get a whole lot of stray powder, so that's good. And so I'm going to just heat set this this embossing powder, and I'm doing it over my glass mat. And I love the glass mat for embossing because I can just lay it down there and melt my embossing powder. And so now I'm coming in. I'm going to do some ink blending. I'm an amateur at ink blending, so but I'm using Slippery When Wet to start with, and I'm just going to do kind of an ombre from this Slippery When Wet down to the Midnight Snack. And I want to give credit on where I found the combinations for these inks. I've done some ink blending. I'm not really good at just looking at my inks and going, oh, these will go well together. So I did a little search and found a video that Cassie Trask has done, and she used these ink colors to ink blend a fall card, and it was absolutely stunning. So I borrowed the combination from her video. So I'm just going to keep going back and forth with my colors. I'm using Grrr right now, and I'm coming back in with the brush that I used with Slippery When Wet. I didn't even put more ink on it. I just came back in with it and kind of smooth that out a little bit. Now I'm going to come in with Breakup Blue. And I love my little glass mat that I have here. It's magnetic, and I have those little magnets there that help me hold my paper while I'm doing ink blending or using a stencil or all kinds of things. It's really nice. Not only does it hold the paper, but it also gives me, when I'm ink blending, it gives me somewhere to hold, because it's not holding it completely still, especially while I'm ink blending, but I can, it kind of gives me a handle too, if I need it, so that I don't get my hands on the ink. Now I've come back in with my Midnight Snack, and that's going to be at the very bottom. It's my darkest ink. And now I'm going back in with Breakup Blue, and there's a light area down there at the bottom right corner where the little cups are that I was trying to blend out, and I just couldn't get it blended out. So we're just going to leave it because I will end up cutting this panel down. Now I come in with a microfiber towel and just buff off any of the ink that's on top of that embossing powder. So I'm coming in, I want a little bit of splatter, so I got my Lunar paste that's in the color of Slippery When Wet, and just put a little, I put way too much on my glass mat, and mixed it with some water, and I'm going to just splatter that on top of my card base. And as you see, the first time I mixed it up, I didn't get enough water. So I'm putting in some more water, and now I get what I want. I want those gold looking splatters all over my card. And so now I'm going to stamp my sentiment across my card. And I'm thinking I'm going to use this midnight snack color. And this is the first time I've used this particular stamp out of the stamp set, so I have to kind of make sure that I'm getting it inked up good. And just gonna stamp it on that little scrap of paper. I keep calling it paper, y'all know it's cardstock. But I'm just gonna cut the right side at a little angle and then cut off the left side supposedly straight. It's not straight. But anyway, okay, here comes my signature move. We're going to pop some stuff up with some Scotch foam tape. I am going to pop the sentiment up, and I'm just cutting 3 little rectangles of it there off the end of my ever-dwindling Big Daddy roll of Scotch foam tape. And I decide, hey, I want to make sure this is going to go where I want it to go. And that's when I remembered you wanted to cut the panel down, Kim, so let's do that before we put that sentiment on. And I realized then that my Lunar paste isn't completely dry, so I would just take my heat tool, since I had it out anyway, and make sure that Lunar paste is dry, especially that gargantuan blob right there at the top. He was the one giving me trouble. So I'm just going to cut my panel down 1/4 inch all around. So that's going to give me a 5 by 3 3/4 inch panel. And going to get it to where I can use this brown. It's a kind of a lighter brown, maybe a chocolate brown, pattern cardstock that is in the Dots for Fall pattern paper. And I'm going to use that to matte behind my ink blended card. And I'm going to use my trusty dusty art glitter glue and just pop that on there as centered as my crooked eyeballs can go. Speaking of crooked, I know you all have noticed that as we've gone along in this video, my camera is rotating clockwise, and not sure what happened there, and tried to straighten as best as I could, but anyway, hopefully you get the gist of what I'm doing and you're not getting too seasick. So I go ahead and adhere my sentiment strip there right at the top where I wanted it to go with my foam tape. And I'm going to come in here and put some more dimension on the card. And because my Big Daddy roll of Scotch foam tape is dwindling and it's kind of expensive, I've found a little cheaper way of popping up entire card panels. So I've got a piece of just cheap craft foam that you get from Hobby Lobby or Michael's, or you probably can get it at Walmart, and cutting it down to slightly smaller than the size of my little card mat there. So I'm cutting it, like 1/8 of an inch in, and I will glue it down to the back of my card. And that's a lot less expensive than using expensive adhesive foam tape, and it works fine. It's not quite as thick. If you wanted it thicker, you could use 2 pieces, but it does give it a little dimension and pops it a little bit off your card base. And so that's where I bring in my A2 top folding card base, and I'm going to glue that down straight to my glue my card mat straight down to my card base, centered in there. I truly don't know what happened to that camera, but wow, it's crooked. Y'all just lean your head to the left a little bit and it's all good. But anyway, there's my card. I hope you enjoyed the process. I think the card turned out really well. I was very pleased with my ink blending and also the splatters that I used. I really enjoyed using that stamp set from Not Too Shabby, and I will leave a link for it down in the description box below. And here's a little secret, don't tell anybody, but there is a discount code in my description box too to the Not Too Shabby shop. So head on over there, check out all of the goodies that Jamie has. She has amazing things in there. She has that stamp set. She has a lot of wonderful products from the Not Too Shabby line. She also carries a lot of different other manufacturers that have some really great things. And so you need to head on over there and check her out. The discount code is good for most everything. It is not good on the subscription boxes or any of the other subscription products like the Paper Pad of the Month Club or the Box of the Month or the Stamp and Die Set of the Month. But if you subscribe to those products, you get an 18% discount over buying it just one at a time. So you really want to subscribe to those because the other thing is, the last probably 4 months, the subscription box has, the Box of the Month has sold out that morning that it hit the website. So if you're subscribed, you're guaranteed your box. So make sure that you are subscribed to that Box of the Month. Hey, thanks for stopping by my channel today. I hope you enjoyed the card, and I hope that it inspires you to get into your craft room and play with your supplies. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I would be so honored if you would do so, and then hit that little bell icon so that you can be notified every time I upload a new video. Another way to help me out is like and to share this video with your friends. I would really appreciate it. Thanks again for stopping by. Love you guys. Bye.